Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Singh and in this video we shall discuss the feature news for today, 28th of April 2022. Today's feature news is on National Industrial Corridor Development Program. The government of India has said that it will withdraw this project from those areas or from those states which are failing to deliver the required acquisition of land on time. And therefore this project deserves significant attention from people who are us preparing for the government exam, so that we understand what are the features of a project like this, a project of National Industrial Corridor Development, and what are its significance. All right, so have a look at this particular image. This image rightly provides the number of National Industrial Corridor projects that we are looking at. There are 11 industrial corridors which are being prepared in 4 different phases. And the first industrial corridor that we've popularly always heard is the Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor. This industrial corridor will be the one which will have enormous number of infrastructure projects, industrial parks, participation from inter-country participations, and manufacturing potential in the country. These projects are going to be greenfield projects, smart projects, which have the plug-and-play facilities at all the institutions. So the idea is to ensure availability of land, availability of basic infrastructure, electricity, water, land development planning, security of energy, security of physical assets, and a complete network of infrastructure so that the items could be created and exported. A ready development market will also be developed along with the production of the items. 11 of these projects have been planned, but then they are not very well happening in the execution phase because of various issues. One of the issues is provision of land. Another issue is the funding availability. So the government has right now said that we will not be initiating the project at those places where the states are not able to provide land in limited time. If you look at the other map carefully, this is the dedicated rail freight corridor project. 6 rail freight corridors have been planned in the country, and 2 of them are in the very advanced stage of their formation: Western Corridor and the Eastern Corridor. Western Corridor and the Eastern Corridor. And if you carefully see, the Eastern Corridor also links with the Amritsar to Kolkata Industrial Corridor project. What I want to share with you very clearly through these 2 images is, and not only that, if you look at the New Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor, it links with the Western Corridor as well. So the point being here that government is utilizing and has created a master plan under which industrial corridors will be developed along with development of rail projects, development of highways, development of airways, development of seaports. So if you start to converge the projects of Sagarmala, Bharatmala, Sagarmala for the coastal ecosystem development, the project of Bharatmala, that map we do not have right now, but that map also will simulate very much similarly with the industrial corridor development. And if you simulate the same map, overlap it with the development of railway projects, again there will be a synergistic application here. Along with the co-production facilities, one simple example is Japanese industrial townships in the country. Japan is one country which does not partner with many countries for co-production of its items, its scientific and technological items. But Japan has partnered with India, and these are some of the places amongst 100+ places which are the ones which are going to be used as manufacturing hub co-production for Japan and India together to be done in India. So many of these places would fall directly on the industrial corridors. That's a very important that's what we are looking forward to, plug and play facilities. So Mandal Industrial Park in Gujarat will have Toyota cars being manufactured, Toyota plug and play facility. Similarly, Neemrana Industrial Park is also there in Rajasthan, and that is another plug and play facility for Japan and other countries as well. Similarly, Uttar Pradesh has got a plug and play facility for JITS, Japan Industrial Township in Greater Noida. Similarly, Reliance has one in Jhajjar, right? So this is how the countries are associating with India and looking at co-production in the country, provided there is availability of the limited resources that we have. So let's look at the other aspects of the same. What are the challenges? What are the opportunities? Commerce and Industry Minister said that the government will foreclose those projects under National Industrial Corridor Development Program where states fail to deliver land in time-bound manner. Okay, and please start, since many of you have been a part of the current affairs program, I would like you to start relating to other current affairs development as well. If you remember, Niti Aayog had passed an important say in the media that those states which are clearing the land projects, the environmental clearances faster, will be accorded better status for the projects that they have, right? Their governance levels will be accorded better standards in case they are passing on the land clearances and other impending environmental clearances sooner than later, right? So that you can relate that news to this particular news. All right, so developing greenfield manufacturing hubs and smart cities, new industrial cities and smart cities, which are the plug and play option. Every facility is available. All you got to do is apply your mind, put the instruments and the production facilities, and start delivering the projects. So looking forward to India being one of those manufacturing hubs in the future. We know the Make in India initiative. We understand the objectives of the initiative. We understand why all the world wants to produce with India. Not that we are the best, but that we are looking for another alternative. We have compared how India fares with respect to China when we trade with EU, when we trade with USA, when we trade with Southeast Asia. China tops those countries. $800 billion of inter-country trade. China with all these three stakeholders, and India has got around $100 billion or less with each of these stakeholders. Even a small chunk of it, just on the kind of partnerships that India is looking forward to, India will be able to benefit immensely. And when we look at labor force participation rate falling, when we look at the dismal state of affairs in education gaps, the literacy gap that we speak of, this is a very significant development when we look forward to creating the National Industrial Corridor program in the country. All right. So this is the one which is going to provide employment, skills. This is the one which is going to provide a manufacturing hub for the whole world. That's how we look at it. And National Industrial Corridor Development and Implementation Trust is the one which is looking after this project. All right. Overall sanction corpus is this amount, next amount, not to be remembered. All right. So the objective is to provide plug and play facilities meant to compete with the best manufacturing investment destinations in the world. Showcase the potential to global investors. Acha, where did UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson first land in India? He went to Ahmedabad. He went to see the industrial corridor projects, and that's how they would be able to invest and co-produce in India. That's when the Japanese premier comes to India, Germany's chancellor comes to India, UK's prime minister comes to India, or European Commission's head comes to India. All of them coming to India, they would visit these places, which are the industrial places first, to understand if these places are worthy of investment. And they do not come alone. They come with a team of investors. They come with a team of industrial manufacturers, industrialists. So when Prime Minister goes abroad, they also go along with the chairpersons, managing directors, CEOs of India's top-notch organizations which want to spend or do business with the countries abroad. So that's how we want to showcase the potential to the global investors. So plug and play facilities. See, these kind of conversations here will pay off to you. The reason being because these kind of conversations will keep staying in your mind, and they'll keep on reverberating, echoing in your ears, because you would have been a part of it. So therefore, just objectively glancing through the pages, that will be decent enough. But then if you are a part of this conversation, that will help you. So when we look at the objectives of any program, infrastructure program for development, plug and play facility, best manufacturing potential, and showcasing the opportunity for the global investors, realizing Atmanirbhar Bharat. How tough is it for you to remember, provided you just close your eyes and think about it once? It won't be tough. Just note down these key objectives and you will be able to use this while you write answers. All right. So sustainable growth can happen through environmental clearances, through multimodal transportation networks, some of them that I showed to you people, right? Handling issues like climate change. So green modes of production, hydrogen fuel is one important mode of production, gases being another, providing employment, export, import opportunities for the countries. But there are some issues, for example, massive shortfall in the budget. Okay. Tardy progress, right? Very slow progress in the projects. Private participation has been a challenge. The states finding it difficult to find project finances, especially during times of COVID. We ourselves relate the difficulty in finances with the higher taxation. Government does not want to tax people. We have seen that through multiple channels. We see when the government does not want to raise electricity tariffs, it does not want to raise the prices in which people travel in trains, but still government is forced to increase the petrol prices. It is all there in the open. Government is forced because we don't have other revenues. All right, we have to make our whole channel more efficient, corruption free, high technology ended, so that we do not have to spend more on the inputs, right? All right, deferment of acquiring land, and these are the issues. So we have covered all the issues. What is the requirement? Requirement is to have public-private partnership, which we already have. We also have to update national infrastructure plan, because these are all a part of national infrastructure pipeline itself. The plan has been to develop 102 lakh crore of infrastructure projects, and these are part of that. These are the infrastructure projects that we speak of, that the national infrastructure projects are a part of this pipeline itself. All right. So what did we cover here in this article are quite a few things related to National Industrial Corridor project. All right, National Industrial Corridor project. We understand what is the objective of a project like this. We understood through the examples how convergence is being met through a project here. So convergence in infrastructure, convergence of national goals, convergence of export production for the economy, convergence for providing employment for India's human capital. So what are the objectives? What are the convergences? What are the opportunities for India? What are the challenges? And we also understood through the example of JITs, Japanese Industrial Townships. All right, that's what we covered. Topic covered concisely. And over the topic that you people right now shared, that is that of nervousness and shortage of time, feeling anxious about the issue of not being able to work on the things that were planned. Plan is falling apart. All I would like to say to you is that this is the story of all of us. Each one of us has got the same 24 hours. We have got similar kind of challenges. Yes, they may not be same, but similar kind of challenges. Yet the person who's determined, there is a way for them. And all is there for each one of us to do is to perform, and you will see, and we will see that excellence is the only way through which it will happen. It will happen eventually, provided we keep on performing as a matter of habit. What would you have to do? When you have realized then that, for example, test series takes a lot of time, then we could begin test series not just towards the fag end of the preparation, but 5 months before the prelim examination. So keep on giving a test once in 1.5 weeks, 10 days, 12 days, and it will be a sustainable process. This can be a good learning. For people who are feeling anxious, nothing to worry. This is a natural process. Sweating of palms just before the examination, increase of heartbeat, or tapping of hands and fingers and foot. This is a very normal process. Similarly, if one feels anxious during exam writing, it is because there are high stakes involved. There is nothing to worry. The reason why I want you to see the previous year question is very simple. That is that UPSC will reward and will keep on rewarding those people who understands the things conceptually. Factual level understanding is at very superficial level. UPSC has a deeper way in which it asks questions, be it prelim examination or main examination. Largely, now we cannot single out a single question and say this was not asked in that conceptual level. The point being just that you have to trust your hard work, you have to trust what you follow, and you will see small amends here and there, and then it will lead to a wider good result. And for a person who knows not to give up, there is no defeat. All right. So with this, I conclude this session. If you like this initiative, share some love, some likes, comments, and shares. Let me see if there are some questions here. Germany said to India that if land acquisition is delayed in the country, they will not invest. This is not it's not just about other countries investing in India. When India also says we want to invest in developing projects in the developing world or other countries, they also again say you have declared the project, however, you have not met the goal. You've not invested through your private participation. There are bureaucratic hurdles. There are middle persons who are acting as roadblocks. The same thing happens when other countries want to invest in India. For that same reason, there have been dashboards created which have single point clearance for the project initiation. For that same reason, we are starting the projects which are called as plug and play facilities, where the bureaucratic hurdles of electricity supply from somebody and looking forward to water supply and then land management, security management, energy management is not to be done by every stakeholder. Just plug and play. These are the reasons. All right. So good point mentioned, Amlan. What should be the attempt which, as per you, one must attempt to be safe side during prelim? Okay. Okay, good night, Kim, Ashish, Amlan, Kriti, all of you. Bhavani has a question. What should be the safe number of attempts? There is nothing like that. But yes, there is some guarantee to what should be the minimum number of attempts. If you attempt, say, 55 questions, this is just on the margin. If you expect that with 55 questions, you will be able to clear the exam, this is totaling to 110. This is paper 1, GS paper 1. That is CSAT paper 1, right, for prelim examination. But then we should expect 100% accuracy here if we want to clear with 55% questions. Largely we see around, if you analyze, around 30 questions, 30 plus minus 5 questions is what many people who have struggled, who have studied well would know. 30 plus minus 5 questions. And rest of the questions, we will have to work on the level of intelligent guesswork. Guesswork is not the word, intuitive guess or smart work that we say, right? Eliminating some options, and that's how we will be able to cross the magic number of the cutoff. Now the cutoff last year was around 90 marks, last year also was around 90 marks, and sometimes when the exam is not so difficult, the cutoff also touches 100 and 110 as well. That also happens. When you want to clear a cutoff of say 90 marks, 45 questions effectively must be true. Assuming that you know 60 questions, 60-65 questions with some guesswork here, this also should be only the lower limit of attempting, because one might expect say 15 questions going wrong. Out of 65, if 15 questions go wrong, effective number of questions correct will be 50, and 5 questions penalty will be there, 1/3 penalty will be there. You will be attempting overall 45 questions only. 45 into 2 is 90 marks. You will be just on the margin. If you attempt 65 questions and 15 are wrong out of it, you will be just on the margin. So what I have seen, usually people who are getting through, people who don't get through also attempt those many only. So they attempt say 75, I shouldn't be saying much, 80, 85. This is how people usually attempt. This is what is my observation. I am not the only credible source for information. There is no big sample size that I have, but I can say with fair degree of understanding that one should be attempting a decent number of questions. Lower margin should not be limited, right? Because many of us do not know the answers, but then a fair, logical, sometimes intelligent guess, it works. And that's the reason that I ask you every time, look at previous year questions. Only UPSC previous year question and try guessing the answers. Go back 20 years as well. Go back 10, 15 years as well, and 7 years. And you will see that if your guesses are working decently enough, possibly there is a chance that you will be able to guesswork the forthcoming questions also in a similar manner. And look at the guess percentage, correct percentage. If it is 50%, it is still good, because in 50% also you will be still on the positive side. If your guess percentage of accuracy is 33%, then it will be 0. Then it will be 0, right? So 1 question correct and 2 questions wrong. Then it will lead to effectively 0 marks. All right. All right. So thank you for participation, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow evening. Yes, tomorrow evening for current affairs, and I want you to watch the videos on editorial discussion as well. Quite insightful. Thank you for participation.